Back to my YouTube channel. My name is Gagan Vaid and I am a backend developer. In today's video, we will learn basics of roles management and access control in Symfony 5. We will learn roles management, access control in security.yaml file, access control in controller or other places. We will also learn about Sensio framework extra bundle in this video. Let's start from roles management in Symfony 5. For that, we need to go to our project first. We are already done with setup of Symfony 5, login part, registration part, authentication failure and success handlers, and some basic pages in Symfony 5. From the I button, you can get the link of those videos. First of all, we will start our Symfony project. Our project is started on this URL. We will copy and paste the URL in browser. So our project is started. If you go to the users table in our database, then you will see that we already have a roles field in our database, but we will not use this field to manage our roles. To manage the roles in a better way, we need to add a new roles entity. So first we will add a roles entity. So our roles entity is created. Now we will link our roles entity to users table. We will create a many-to-many relation with roles and users. And our many-to-many relation is also created. Now we will migrate our tables. Now if we will refresh our database, then we have two new tables, roles and user role. This is the many-to-many relation between user and role table. And this is our role table. Now we will add some roles and relate them to our existing user. I have created 4 roles in my role table. Now we will link these roles to our user. I already have a user and I will link this to the roles. Now you can see that our user have two roles. First is role admin and second is role back office. You can see that our user is not logged in yet. If we will try to access our client list URL, then user will be able to access that list. Now we need to add one more change in our user entity. I am inside my project and I will open my user entity. Here we need to modify this function to get the roles from our new entity. For that, we need to add some changes here. After creating our many-to-many relation with role and user, here is a new function generated. We will use this function to get our roles. And this will get and add all our role names in this roles array. We will also comment this line. That's it. Next we will add some access checks. For that we will start from access control in our security.yaml file. And I will open my security.yaml file. Inside config, packages and security.yaml, and here we can add our access checks. We will follow the official Symfony documentation for this. I will also add this URL in the description box. For example, we will copy this line from here and paste it in our security file. According to this line, any URL started with /admin will be only accessed by a logged in user or a user have role admin. We will first start with this role. This is not a role actually. This line makes sure that user is logged in, but here in our case we will add client here. Now if we will try to access this, you can see that you are redirected to login URL. Now I am logged in and I am able to access this link. Next is if I have role admin or any role you can add here. Role admin. I already have this role, so I will be able to access. Now in our case, our user does not have role manager and role user. If we will add role user here, then user will get an access error. will again refresh. You can see you are getting an access error. If we will add two roles here, user and role name. If user have any one of these two roles, then user will able to access the URL. In our case, our user have role admin but not role user. Let's try to refresh the page. And you can see that you have access to the URL. There is one more thing. If we will add this, then all the URL starts from /client will be secured. But if we will remove this, then any URL have /client will be checked. For example, if the URL is admin/list/client, then that URL will also be secured. You can modify this line according to your requirement. For now, I have removed this line, and next we will learn about Symfony 5 access control in controller or some other places. In the Symfony documentation, you can see that we have some pre-built function to manage the access. Here you can see this line. If we will copy this line and paste inside our controller function and our client controller. In our client controller, this is the client's list function. We will paste that line here. Now, only the user with role admin will be able to access this list function. We will go and check. And our user already have role admin, so let's try to refresh. And user have access to this URL, but if we will add role user here or any other role, then user does not have access to this URL. We can also show some custom error message using this line. Our custom error message will be visible in exception. Next, we will learn about Symfony 5 Sensio framework extra bundle. This bundle have very good features, and I will show these features in this video. Now, inside our documentation, if we will click this link, here is all about Sensio framework extra bundle. This bundle have many features, but in today's video we will learn about some basic features. Click on security and is granted. Here we can add the access checks using annotations. First we will copy this line and paste in our controller. we will remove the access check from here and copy and paste the annotations. Now if we will add role user here, then we will get an access error. Let's try to refresh the link. And here you can see that only the user with role users will be able to access this URL, and this access check is added by controller annotation. Now if we will change the role user to role admin, then user will able to access this URL because our user already have role admin. And that's working. We can also add multiple roles in the annotation checks. For that, we will copy this line and add some modifications. We also need to use this line. Now we can add two roles here, role admin and role user. According to this line, a user with role admin and role user can access this URL. So user needs to have both the roles. But in our case, our user only have role admin. And you can see user is getting the access denied error. But if we will add or here, then the user with role admin or role user will able to access this URL. Next, we can also add some checks inside our twig file by using this. We will copy this and let's remove the checks here and open our twig file. This is our clients list template, and here if we will add a tag, and you can see that the test link is visible here. But if I will add an access check here, for example, In this case, only the user have role user will be able to see and access this A tag. In our case, our user does not have role user. You can see that you will not able to see this link, but if I will add role admin here, then this link will be visible. We can also add OR condition here. In this case, user with role user or with role admin will be able to access this link. And you can see that the link is visible. If we will also remove the role admin from our user, then user will not able to access this link again. And here I have removed the role admin. Now we will try to refresh, and the link is not visible anymore. So that's all for today's video. If you found that the video is helpful, then please press the like button and subscribe to my channel. Also press the bell icon to receive the notifications of my upcoming video.